In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your very own custom vector icons or vector characters using Adobe Illustrator. So today we're going to be creating our very own custom Squid Game icons or characters, some flat 2D vector characters, and I'm sure you may have seen Squid Game somewhere on the internet, but if you haven't, it's this Netflix series that's really popular right now. So I thought, why not do something on it? And today we're going to be using Adobe Illustrator, as I mentioned, with no plugins, nothing downloaded. We're just going to create everything from scratch within Illustrator. So without any further delays, let's start designing. So here I am in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm just going to go ahead and go to create new. You know how we do it here. Just create new to start creating on a new canvas. You can input whatever size you want, and my raster effects is 300 ppi or my resolution. That's fine. Now we can just go ahead and hit create, right? So here we have our blank canvas, and now we can go ahead and start designing. Let me just go ahead and full screen this. And I think I probably want to make this template a little bit wider. Oh no, let's just start. So the idea I had for these vector icons is, you know, the security guards or the soldiers in Squid Game, the guys that wear the pink and they have like their PlayStation buttons on their masks with the black mask and the white shapes. I wanted to create a character for that, as well as the regular players that wear green within Squid Game, the people who are actually playing the games. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's just go ahead and start. So what I want to do is I want to just use some ovals or circles, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit L for my ellipse tool. Let me zoom in. And what I'm going to do is just create a little oval for my face. Well, not my face, but the face of the character I'm making. And then let me just go ahead and increase the stroke to about 5. That way you can see what I'm doing, right? So this is going to be my face, and you know they wear masks in Squid Game, right? I'm just going to go ahead and hit Control and C to copy this shape, this oval, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hit Control, Shift, and V to paste it in the exact same coordinates. And there are 2 of them there right now, you just can't see it. See that? And then I'm just going to expand this outer one like so. But the reason why you're not seeing the one behind it is because they both have a white fill, right? So let me just go ahead and turn off the fill. But what I did now, I just selected both of them by dragging like that. And then I could come over here to my appearance tab, or I can go up top here to where I have my fill options and just turn off the fill, right? And if you don't have your properties tab over here to the right, like I have mine, this is my properties tab right here. You can just go up top to window and then hit properties, right? And you'll get here, it'll pop up on screen, and then you can just put it wherever you want. So if it pops out like this when you turn it on and you want to put it over here, you just drag it over. See that blue outline? And then you just release, and that's how you customize your window, your Illustrator window, right? So we have our face. Let's continue. We have our face. We have the outline of the face. We're making the security guards, the pink guys, right? So we have our face. We have the outline of our hoodie. That's what we want, right? So I have my face. The inner circle here is my face. Let me just go ahead and make this black. And then let me change the color of the outside one to pink, the pink that we're going to be using. That's probably too bright. Let me just turn that down. It's a softer pink that they have in the Squid Game. And then I'm just going to send this behind the black for the mask so I can see what I'm doing, right? And then I'm just going to go ahead and expand the width of the pink for the hoodie because I want it to be a little bit wider. I'm just going to hold Alt on my keyboard and click and drag these 2 edges, and you see what's happening. Both the left and the right side is getting expanded to about there. That's about where I want it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and draw 2 lines, because in Squid Game, the mask that they wear, the black masks, it has like a horizontal bevel and then a little vertical line. So the mask is like divided into 4 divided into half, that's 2, and then the bottom half is divided into 2 again. No, that's not 4, that's 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue. I'm just going to use my pen tool by pressing P, and then I'm just going to click, hold shift for a straight line, click, and then I'm just going to increase the stroke on this. I think I probably need to bring this to the front by hitting Control on my keyboard or Command if you're on Mac, and then the right square bracket, and that should bring it forward. Let me open my layers here. Probably need to turn off the fill. And let me change the color of the stroke here, that way we can probably see it better. See, it's right there. Let me make it a gray instead of the black, because it and the mask is the same color. We're not seeing it, right? Obviously. I'm just gonna go ahead and make this about 30. That's what I want. Let me just select everything and align the centers. Perfect. That way our design is nice and symmetric and aligned and neat. You know how we do it here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Control and C to copy this same line. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Control Shift and V to paste it in the exact same coordinates. And then I'm just going to pick on one of the corners here and just hold shift and rotate it vertically, and then come back on another corner and just see, I got this arrow here. See this arrow here on the edge, these double-sided arrows here, sorry. I'm just gonna go ahead and drag down the middle one, and that will size down this line for me, or shrink the length of that line for me. See that? How cool is that, right? Pretty cool if you ask me. And then that's our mask, and then, you know, on their masks in Squid Game they have the shape, right? But let me go ahead and just drag this down, and then drag this down as well. So about there, that looks better to me. And then let's go ahead and make the shape. So you know they have the square, circle, and the triangle, the PlayStation buttons, right? Or 3/4 of the PlayStation button. So let's go ahead and just make this one a square for the purposes of this tutorial, right? Let's go ahead and press M for our shape, rectangle, and then we're just gonna, oops, let me just align everything to the center of this artboard. All right, there we have it. And then the mask, the shape on the masks in the movie, or in the series, sorry, they're white, right? So I'm just gonna turn that to white. Over to my properties tab, click the stroke. Stroke is right here, right? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and turn that to white. And that's what we want. How cool is that? It's really starting to come together, right? But what I also want, I want to create, this is the head, right? The head. Obviously I need to make a body. So what I'm just gonna do is duplicate this pink circle that I have here by hitting Control and C. And then I'm gonna hit Control and V to just paste it. Then I'm just going to align it. This pink line is telling me that it's aligned. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make it a little bit bigger because it's the body, right? It should be a little bit bigger, right? Just a little bit bigger. About there. Well, actually, let me size it back down. Let's keep it the same size. And then what I'm going to do is, I really wanted to have that clean, you know, drawing animation look. So I want to just thicken the stroke. You see these pink circles here? They have this black stroke right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and select both the pink areas. And the stroke right now, as you look right here, you can see the stroke is at 5. I'm just gonna go ahead and change it to 30 because I had the gray lines inside here set to 30 as well, right? And then I'm just going to select everything on the head here. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Control and G to group it, right? Control and G, and now if I move everything, it's all grouped together. See that? Control and Z to undo it to get it back where I want it, right there. I'm just gonna go ahead and draw another line with my pen tool right down the middle, well, across the center rather, right there. See this line right here? It's telling me that that's the center, right? That's the center of this bottom pink circle. I'm just gonna click here, hold the shift, drag it across. See, I already got my stroke, but I'm not continuing to draw with the pen tool, so I'm just gonna go ahead and press escape, right? this will be our belt, and I probably want it to be a little bit thicker than the 30 that we have it. So let me go ahead and set it to like 50. So when I look at it, I can see that it's like distinctively different from everything else, right? And then I want to create another line, a vertical one this time. Here, hold shift, right there. And this is going to represent the zippers, because in Squid Game, they actually wear jumpsuits, right? So what I'm actually making is something to represent the jumpsuits. And you know, the top half of the jumpsuit has a zipper. Jumpsuit or coveralls, overalls, whatever you want to consider it as, it has zippers on the top half, right? I'm just going to go ahead and set this line, this stroke, back to 30, because remember I had set it to 60 for the belt line across here, right? Let me go ahead and set it back to 30. Cool. And then I want another line like this, similar to this one, down here to represent the separation of the legs, right? Just gonna go ahead and hold Alt and drag it down. That duplicates it for me, and then I'm just gonna shorten the length, because I don't want it to come all the way up here to meet it. I want it to stop a little bit down here, just to give me a slight representation that there are legs there, right? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this circle by hitting Ctrl and C to copy, and then hitting Ctrl Alt and V to paste it in the exact same coordinates. And then I'm going to hit Ctrl Shift and the left square bracket to send it to the back. And then I'm just going to pick on one of the sides, because it's still selected here, right? If I look over my layers here, see, it's still this double circle here, this double circle right here is telling me that this ellipse is still selected, even though it's at the back. So if I were to click on any of these circles, it would select that item in our layers, right? So just like Photoshop, we have layers in Illustrator. And what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and expand the width of this one, right? Oops, but I have to hold Alt while I'm doing it. That way it expands both on the left and the right. See that? How cool is that, right? Pretty cool. And I want to stop it about there is cool. And then I'm just gonna like erase the top half, because this is gonna represent the hands to the side. You know, that's the style of animation I'm creating, the style of the vector, the cartoon, whatever you want to consider it as. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit Shift and E to get my eraser tool, and then I'm just gonna erase the bottom half like that. See that? Or I could have just deleted one point on the circle and then just reconnected it, but this is how I want to do it. So let's continue. Oops, and I haven't saved this project since I've started working on it. That is so bad. Let's go ahead and hit Ctrl and S, and then let's name this let's go to my desktop. Let's name it LSPV Squid Game tutorial, right? And then let's save that. Okay, and now we can continue designing with peace of mind. Next, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and just create some boots, right? Some shoes. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit my line tool here, but I'm just gonna select the arc tool, right? I'm just gonna just create an arc. Let's do, how do I get it to go up? All right, that's what I want. Not that perfect. Let's do like that. Oops. All right, and then I'm gonna duplicate this, Control and C, and then Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. And then I'm just gonna go ahead to Object, Transform, Reflect, because I want to like flip it the other side, right? And then the reflection that I want is vertical. Okay, and then I can just like move this over till the points intersect like that. See that? Then I'm going to select both of them, right click on the selection and hit join, and do it one more time until the bottom half closes. And then I can just align it to the center of my artboard. Now I can bring it up to meet the body of my artwork. And then I want a black fill. Right now there is no fill here. I want a black fill. So I don't want a stroke. I want a black fill, right? to match everything else that we have here. And if I hit Control while selecting this element here, you see these two dots here. I'm gonna get some dots right here and right here. Pay attention to that, right? See, if I hold Control, you see these two dots? That will allow me to just click and drag in and round up the corners. See that? How cool is that, right? Now if I zoom out, how cool is that? Maybe I should like make his shoes bigger, give him or her a bigger size shoes, right? Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that looks much better. Control and S to save. The next thing I want to do is I want to bring the head to the front, right? So this entire group, remember we grouped it earlier. Just gonna go ahead and select that and hit Control and the right square bracket to just bring it forward, right? See that? Bring it forward and then move it up a little bit to about there. But you see this center line here? I probably need to move that back, right? So let me just go ahead and hit Control. Or I could just go ahead and right click on it and hit Arrange and then send backward. You see you have all the shortcuts right here. All these shortcuts here, right? So let me select it again, Control and left square bracket to just bring it back, right? And if you look over my layers here, it's right here. And if I hit the Control and the left square bracket again, you can see it's moving down. And when it moves down in the layers, it's actually going to the back, right? So that's exactly what we want. So let me just go ahead and continue. And then let me just, you know how zippers are, they have a line in the middle, and then I'm just gonna create some horizontal shorter lines, smaller lines to just represent that zip, the teeth of the zip, right? Just gonna use my pen tool, P, and then click and just make a little small line, align it to the center, align it to the center. And then what I want to do is I want to duplicate it some more to come down. So what I'm just gonna do is hit Alt, hold Shift, and just use my down arrows. 1, see that it duplicated it for me. I'm just gonna do Shift and down one more time. 2, 3, 4, see that? Then hold Alt, do it again. Alt will duplicate it for me while I move it with my arrow keys and hold Shift. And then 1, 2, 3. Was it 3 or 4? I did 3. Alt, Shift, move down, and then 3 down clicks. See that? Or you could have just hit Control and C to copy it, and then Control Shift and V, sorry, to paste it in the same coordinates as the first one, and then just like move it down, right? And then let's select all of them. Just selecting all of these here. And then we're just Control and G to group them. And then let's just move it down to center it, right? To see how that looks. That is perfect. That definitely represents like a zipper. What do you guys think? Control and S to save. And then the guys in Squid Game also wear little black gloves, right? The pink soldier guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select my art tool once more and just like draw a little like arc here to represent the hand, you know. Then P for my pen tool and to just work with this arc tool to just close the ends, right? And then now we have the black stroke. I can probably turn the stroke off and then turn the fill back on to black, because what I really want is the fill, right? How is this cursor highlighter working? This yellow thing here. Can you see the cursor better? You know what I'm doing. Does it help? Let me know in the comments. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this or copy it. Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. And as you know, I have the left hand here, so I want to flip it to get the right hand, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and go to Object, Transform, Reflect it vertically, press OK. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and move it over by holding Shift on my keyboard and then just like moving it over till it looks similar to the one on the other side, right? What do you guys think? I think that looks good. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I really like how this soldier is coming out. This security guard, right? The enforcer. What do you guys think? This is looking real good. What else do I want to do to this? Oh, they do have a little pocket. So let's go ahead and just add a pocket, right? Let's go ahead and use my pen tool, P. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and align it with this pocket, this zipper teeth right here, tooth right here. I just click the point, held shift to get the straight line, and then I'm just gonna draw like a triangle. You know how the top parts of some pockets are, or like the flap part of an envelope, right? That's the reference I'm using here. And I believe this is what I want. What do you guys think? How are we doing thus far? This is really cool. This really looks like one of those soldier guys in Squid Games, right? We're not going to put the weapon on them. This is fine for the purposes of this tutorial. But what I want to do is I want to make all the lines, all the edges, I want to make them like rounded, right? So let me just go ahead and select everything by clicking and dragging, highlighting everything. And then let me just come over to stroke right here, right? And then let me just click on the actual word stroke, and let me just change the corners and the edges, right? Wait, yeah, just the edges of the lines, right? So you see that what was there before was this, they were all squared, right? And what I did, I just made them rounded, you know, making it a little bit neater. And then remember what I told you about the feature that you have to round the corners of particular shapes. If you click on the shape and hold Control, you'll see the dots here. See that? See these dots here at the edges? And I can just click and drag them in, and that will give me a nice rounded corner shape, right? How cool is that? To fit in with our rounded corner, what do you call it? Lines, right? To keep some kind of uniformity in our design. And this soldier is ready. Let me probably bring down these gray lines. That way I can, let me ungroup this, Control Shift and G. And let me just bring this down. That way I can bring down the vertical one, right? And then I can make the square in the face a bit bigger. Move it down some. And I think, yeah, because the whole point is to have the shape like really dominantly visible, right? And I really, really like this. There is our character or flat icon or flat vector icon. What do you guys think? Let me go ahead and hit Control and S to save. And what is this right here? What is this round? Oh, it's the belt. The belt probably needs to be not that wide. Let me just bring the edges in by holding Alt as well, so it does it on both sides for me. Control and S to save, and that looks much better, right? Let me do it the mask up here. Bring in the edges by holding Alt and dragging in one edge, and Alt will make both edges come in at once. That looks cool. This one looks thicker than this one. This is 30. This is oh, they're actually the same size. All right, cool. We're good. We're good. Control and S to save. Yes. And now we can go ahead and make our players, right? Are you guys excited? What do you guys think so far? Let me know in the comments. I really like this clean outline look. It's really, really cool. And if I wanted to, I can come here and just hold the Control and just round the edges of this, right? How cool is that, right? I can do it over here as well if I wanted to, but let's just keep it as is for now, right? This is real cool. So what I'm going to do is just group everything. Oh no, let me just move it over first. Oh, I need to group it and then, or select it all and then hold Alt, click on the selection and just drag it over. Or I could have just like grouped everything, Control and C to copy, and then Control and V to paste. Let me show you that method. So I select everything, Control and G to group it, and then Control and C to copy, Control and V to paste. I'm saying Control too much. And then you see we have it all together, right? So these other guys, the actual contestants in the Squid Game, they wear green, right? So let me just go ahead and do the first thing, which is to change their color. But I'm just going to ungroup this, Control Shift and G, and then I'm just going to just change it to a green from our swatches. We're not going to complicate it too much, right? Just picking the same green, selecting all the pink areas by clicking on them, pressing I for my eyedropper tool, and then I'm just picking from another green area, right? And then where they have the pockets on the pink soldiers, the contestants actually have their numbers, right, on a little patch that's green as well. So let me go ahead and hit T for my type tool, and let me just type the number. What's his number again? That betrayer guy. What's the betrayer guy's number? The Judas. What's his name? The guy with the glasses. His number is 218, 213. What's his number? Somebody remind me in the comments. And let's just make it a little bit bigger. Bold. So Arial bold. It doesn't matter what font you use. Let's change it to white. And then their number is in a little square, right? So let me hit M for my rectangle tool, and then let me change the fill to the same green and the stroke to the black, right? But we don't want it as thick as the other strokes, so about 5 is fine. Turn off the fill. We don't need the green because the green is already behind it, so we don't need to have a redundant green. I could have also just moved it 218 on top of the green rectangle that I have here. Let me hit Control and just round up the edges. Oops, what am I doing? Control, round up the edges. That is so cool. And then the number looks good there. What do you guys think? And then I can just group the number and the shape, selecting them both, hitting Control and G. And then I don't need this pocket anymore. So what I'm going to do is just like set this right here, delete the pocket, and then move the number over some. Oh, there is good. We're really starting to come together here, guys. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use, because these two are grouped, if I were to select one, I'd select both of them. But let me just go ahead and hit A for my selection tool, and then hold Control, and then I can expand the square, the rectangle, the pocket rectangle. I'm holding Alt, Control, and Shift and just dragging it out, right? That is so cool. But the thing with our contestants is they don't have masks, right? So what I'm going to have to do is, they don't have masks and they don't wear gloves, right? So let me just go ahead and change the Control and S to save. Let me change the gloves to like a skin tone. Let me find a swatch, a skin tone swatch. Open swatch library. You saw what I just did, right? I just hit the menu options on swatches. If you don't know where to find your swatches, you can just go to Window and Swatches, right? And then open swatch library, skin tones, and then I have a brand new swatch here. I can just pick something from here. So I want to change the gloves, right? Because they're Asian, so they're not exactly Caucasian, but they're not as dark as I am. So let me use, that's fine, that works. What do you guys think? Let me just drag this swatch here right next to that one. And then because this is a different color, I'm going to have to move this down in my layers so it goes to the back, right? Or I can just right click on both of them because I have them selected, and then just go to arrange and then send to back, and that's perfect, right? What do you guys think? Well, let me just move it out to the left some more and right on each side respectively. So I'm holding shift and just moving my arrow key out, left arrow key on one side, right arrow key on one on the other side. That way it shows some more skin, right? And then what I want to do next is just delete the mask elements, because as I said, they don't wear masks. The actual people who are playing the game don't wear masks. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and select the black area. I'm just gonna make this my skin tone, right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and hit I for my eyedropper tool and just pick the skin tone from the hand, right? The color from the hand, right? Perfect, that's exactly what we want. And then on the contestants, they have a little collar. They don't have the hood, they have a little collar on their windbreaker or jackets, whatever you want to consider it as. And I actually have my drawing here. I'll pop it up on the screen. I actually drew, see that? This is the contestant, what's his name? Gihan, the star of the Squid Game. And then this is the green vest, right? And then this is the soldier, obviously. With this one I drew with the triangle. How cool is that? What do you think of my drawing, right? Pretty cool. So let me go ahead and just make, here's the color right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this right here, this area right there is the color, right? I just wrecked my drawing completely. But I did it for you guys. Love you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and try and give them a little color. I don't need this. So let me go ahead and delete it. I believe I can delete it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and create that little color, right? Hit P for my pen tool, and then let me just like make this little color here. I'm just doing it down the center, that way I can just join it on either side, right? All right, so this looks like what I want. And then let me hit Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it in the exact same coordinates, but I think I did something wrong. Let me undo that. All right, Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it in the exact same coordinates. Object up top, transform, reflect, perfect. And then I'm just gonna move it over till it intersects. See that pink line? It's saying intersect, meaning they're at the same position on either side. Then I'm just going to select both of them, then right click and click join, right? And I'm gonna do it one more time, join. Now it's a complete shape. How cool is that, right? Can I move this to the back? Control Shift and left square bracket. Let me see. I'll have to move the head up. I just want to see what options I have here with this. Yeah, I could. Now I can put the head behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How far did I move the head up? Just the head up just now. Let's move it back down some. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's move the head behind. All right, that's cool. That's cool. You see the neck of the jacket, right? Pretty cool. And I think I want to make this bigger. It looks a little bit too small. All right, because the number on their shirt in the series is everything, right? It's what identifies them, right? It's like their name in real life. And then let me just select this. And let me just like shrink this side. All right, that looks much better to me. What do you guys think? I mean, it was fine before, but I just wanted to, you know. All right, so let me just duplicate this skin tone, Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it, right? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use my anchor point selection tool. I just want to select one point of this outline, the circle outline, and then I want to delete it. So Shift and C gives me that. I can select this lower point and then I can delete it. And then I can see it stops right here. There should be a joining line right here, this pink line, but it's not. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit right click and hit join. No, it's there. And then I can change the color of this, because this is not skin right now, this is hair, right? Just gonna go ahead and change it to black. That looks a little bit weird, but we can always like make it a little bit shorter. Let me just use Shift and E for my eraser tool real quick and just erase some of this. Oops. Shift and E for my eraser tool and just erase some of the hair, or what would be hair, right? And I can also like make it rounded. See that if I want. But let me just make it a little bit wider than the actual, right? It's a little bit wider. And then let me select it. Then I'm just gonna make a little, you know how, because they're all South Korean, when their hair is down in their face, you know, when somebody's hair is down, you can see like little splits in between the strands of hair, so you can see their skin, you know, like Trunks in Dragon Ball Z. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use P for my pen tool. Just create a little like slit right here, one more there. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and hit, because these are new anchor points that I just made, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and use Shift and C for my anchor point selection tool. I'm just gonna select any one of these and then just delete one, and then I'm just gonna create another line right here to meet this point right here, right? By using my pen tool, P, and then I'm just gonna drag it over. Now I can create that split in the hair that I mentioned, right? It's gonna make it like about here, and then just add this to this, so about to about there. And what I can do next is I can hold Control to get the to get the corner, the rounded corners, like so. See that? And I can really like round in the corners, right? Do you think I should how cool is that? Do you think I should put back the black outline on the head? Do you think that will make it look more uniformed? Oh yes it does. Yes it does. Thank you for telling me that, guys. And then could I like make, you see how I added 2 anchor points here to add that little split in the hair? I think I want to add one more here. Not one more here, I want to add one more here, as in H-E-R-E. And then I want to hit Shift and C for my anchor point selection tool. And I just want to like, because the kind of hair that they have in the Squid Game, it's not like straight cut, right? It's a little bit swirly, you know, more of a Caucasian kind of hair, you know, thinner hair. So let's do that, and then let's just move it down and make it more like accurate, right? As accurate as we can. This is so cool. Wait, let me fix this. This one, it looks a little bit off. This is very cool, right? And for the style of these what do you call it, characters, these animations, I don't think I want to give them eyes. I'm just gonna leave the skin tone as is, right? What do you guys think? And this is looking really, really cool. And let me see if I can add the stroke here to the hand and see how it would look. That's not looking too bad. What do you guys think? I like the outline on the hand, but you see, because the glove is black on this guard, you can't tell that there's a stroke. But let me just move it in and see how it looks. One push in, one shift move in. I actually like it, so let me just put it back. I actually really like it. It looks more uniform, right? All right, I actually really, really, really like that. And then in the game, or the contestants in the game, they have this what do you call it, their you see I have here their vests. This is the contestants vest, right? And you see this line right here, this outer line right here is like a white, like a single Adidas stripe. on the outer part of their blazer, and then they also have it here on the pants right here on either sides, right? It's not an Adidas stripe, but that's the best reference I can think of, right? Let's go ahead and add that by using my pen tool, and then let me just like, so I'm just gonna use the pen tool, and then I'm just gonna like tuck it behind so you can't see the weird crooked line, and it doesn't go all the way down. It stops like about 3/4 ways down the sleeve, and then there, I don't want the stroke, so let me turn that off. I'm right here, clicking on the color, clicking the strike out. The fill should be white, and that looks good, right? But here's what I can do, because I want to hide this portion that's janky over here, right? To the left of it, I can duplicate the hand shape, this shape right here, Control and C to copy, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates, and then I can just turn off the shape, because remember, it's a flat icon. Whatever you do behind some of your front elements to like really get the icon to really shine, nobody's gonna see that, right? So all my crooked shapes behind here, nobody's gonna see that. And then I'm just gonna turn off the green. And look at that. How cool is that, right? All I did was turn off the green, Control and S to save. And now I can move the white over some more, right? How cool is that? Just tuck it over a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and select it, Control and C, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. And then object up top, transform, reflect, vertical reflection. I'm just gonna hold Shift on my keyboard and use my arrow key to just like move it over. That way I have the exact placement, right? And it should go about right there. And let's move it behind, so it's behind the shape or the black line. And that looks pretty good to me. What do you guys think, right? Let me just move it down some. I think it's fine where it is. Let me not stress myself. And they have the same stripe on the pants. So let me go ahead and just do the same thing there. And then the one on the pants runs all the way down. So I'm just going to start here with my pen tool. Come here. And remember, the curve in the front or on the green is what's important. Oops, right? The one that's not showing, the one that I'm going to hide behind the black stroke line, the black outline, that's not important, right? So that's why I can make this one as crooked as I want. And then I'm just gonna, remember what I did earlier? I just like duplicated the pants, the hand shape. Now I'm working with this lower area, so I can duplicate this shape all together. Control and C, Control Shift and V to paste the same coordinates. And then all I did was what? Turn off the fill, right? Turn off the fill. And then I can click the white, and then I have to move it behind because you see it's showing up above the belt, right? That shouldn't happen, right? So I'm selecting it, Control and left square bracket, and I'm just tucking it behind until it goes where I want it, right? How cool is that? And then I can select that same white, Control and C, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates. Object, transform, reflect, and you know the drill. So just hold Shift and move it over with our arrow keys to about there. And then just Control and left square bracket to move it behind till it gets to where we want it, which is about there. And now we're looking like the squids. Now we're looking like the Squid Game. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I really like this. And obviously, if you wanted to make a triangle, you just like pen tool it, right? Pen tool it. You have a triangle. You already have a triangle, right? Well, that's a right angle triangle, but you can make half of the triangle and then like, let me show you. You can make half of the triangle right? And then you can select it and then hit Control and C, Control Shift and V to paste it in the same coordinates, and just go Object, Transform, Reflect, and then boom, align them, and then select both of them, join, one more time, join, and then you have your triangle. Let me turn off the fill, bring the stroke up to 10, or no, it's 30, right? 30, and then change the stroke to white. And if you wanted to use this triangle instead of a square, like, you already know how to do that, right? Circle, same thing. You just hit L on your keyboard and you get your ellipse tool. Select all of this and group it. How cool is this? Let me select both of them, align them center. I know that you have these shapes, you can go ahead, not shapes, know that you have these vector characters, you can go ahead and slap them onto like a vertical story, you know, make a phone wallpaper, or you can put them onto a square, because this right here, I believe what we have right here is a square, right? So you can just like size it up. You can center one of them on your template and like really make it like an Instagram post. I can just add my logo here and just post this to Instagram, and you're done. You're done, because you already successfully created your Squid Game characters. And then if I wanted to save this, I could just go to File, etc., etc., or I can just hit Alt, Control, and E and just export it as whatever file type I want, right? I can change it from PNG to JPEG and just like select my path and export, and that's it. So what do you think of our Squid Game artworks here, or Squid Game vector characters or vector icons? However you want to apply these, what do you think? Have you seen Squid Game? Have you heard about it? Do you plan to see it? Let me know about that in the comments below as well, and let me know what you thought of our vector characters here. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, my name is Cjam, and I will see you guys in the next video.